In this video I'm talking about the second part of my trip to the Scottish Motorcycle Show, where I'm looking at the Kawasaki and the Edinburgh Harley dealership stats here. Unfortunately I've lost a bit of my voice from coughing so much.
How are you feeling? Still a bit?
So yeah, just this annoying cough that's meant I've had no sleep for ages.
Kawasaki.
Oh, the Eliminator.
Yeah.
That's the next kind of bobber to be looking at.
So the
One other stuff and what
So the Eliminator, there's a 400, I think. Yeah, 500. Yeah. But the only thing.
But from a performance perspective, the Vulcan S is considered, like in its market, it's thought of as being pretty fucking quick.
Oh, no.
That came out of there, so just
Oh, we need to
it's just a matter of weaving it back in. But then that's why they put a handle on the other side, though.
Am I holding completely wrong? Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's more comfortable handle.
I've seen one of those in town actually, and it looks fucking cool whenever you see it in person.
No, please. Yes. Take your time.
Thank you. That's quite an interesting colour, kind of like a minty green.
Yeah. They do them in black, and I think there's a darker green one as well.
It's a big radiator at the front as well, isn't it?
It is. And kind of mounted white.
Let's see
So
there.
comfortable.
Really?
That feels... What the hell, the pegs are far forward.
Those, yeah, you're right. That is a
Really far
ridiculous
Yeah.
amount of.
I think that's adjustable though. I think they can, at the factory, I think they can move them for you.
That is seriously far forward.
Yeah, I'm dragging those.
And that's even, and like even with these handlebars being so swept back,
Yeah.
you're full kind of tackled.
My spine will...
Yeah.
Right.
Let me have a little feel.
2 or 3 bumps and your spine is going to...
Ooh, feels comfy. Like, oh, that's it. That's a comfy seat. That's a comfy seat. Yeah. Like, so like, if you would end up just totally like that. Well, everything else is like that, but
And that's an young man's game.
but that's really weird. Like to like put your foot down at the lights and then bring it all the way up to there. Feels like quite a distance. Interesting.
So, definitely a looker.
Yeah. Ooh. There's the... Is that the 4RR? I want to see what that feels like.
Yeah.
It's a 400cc, has the same amount of horsepower as my bobber.
Really?
Yeah. But it revs up to like 15,000 RPM.
Well, I'd love to get to where you're going.
Let's see what this feels like. Actually, not uncomfortable at all. Well, you're really hugging, but you're not too bent over.
You're not that hunched.
Wow. I totally think I would like this. It's like,
It looks probably rapid too.
and it's a screamer. It's just absolutely screams.
Absolutely.
Ooh, oh, it's that getting off that I just, my arse muscles don't work.
To be fair,
It just looks. It's my thing.
I like the money, I don't hurt you.
This is a 975.
Do you know what?
Belt
I
driven.
don't want to upset any of the staff here. It's underwhelming. Like,
But
I'm assuming that the sound
No, 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 it doesn't.
No?
There's new ones. Oh, sure,
Are they all? Are they all?
mega shit. But this is the one that I want to get. So this is the Fat Bob. Fat Bob is, yeah, so, I need to, such a comfortable seat, and foot pegs forward, but not as much as that Eliminator, what was it, the Vulcan
almost 100 feet, like literally.
that's there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
here is a much less of a movement from there to there, but it's so,
I think they're about the only company that I've seen that hang the indicators off of the bars.
yeah. This has changed. I'm sure this is different from the ones that I tried before.
Right.
And the tankles, it feels a wee bit smaller as well from the last one they rode, I think. But because everybody's been sitting on it, it feels nice and warm.
I mean, it's a handsome bike. You can tell chunky is the way that the designers wrote. I mean, even just from the front guard, it's wide.
Yeah, it's expecting bigger wheels.
Big white headlight.
I do like. So a lot of people say they don't like that headlight.
Yeah,
I like
it's
that
not-
headlight.
It would be my jam. You can see that from a design aesthetic, they want chunky, right?
Yeah.
From the headlight to the front tire to the front.
That's what I think.
Everything's
is
thick.
an Armageddon bike.
Right.
Like the world's destroyed. That looks like it.
through the zombie.
Yeah,
forward
that feels like it's got the power
on a
to absolutely
monster.
smash through it.
Yeah. Quite right. Nah, I don't know. There's certainly some appeal to Harleys, but
And here is the voiceover part of after the event, my kind of further thoughts on the bikes there. So the Vulcan, I think, design-wise, has been brilliant. They've designed it really well. I really like the look of it, but those front pegs, those are very, very forward pegs, which definitely means that certainly in UK riding, if you're ever having to jump over a pothole or a speed bump, there's no way to lift yourself up off the bike apart from using massive amounts of back muscles and pulling back on the handlebars. So the first thing I would do is, if I was getting that bike, is get some sort of lever, was it the foot peg position change, if that's possible. Additionally, from what I've heard of these online, the exhaust note or the engine note is not great. You can get aftermarket exhaust, which definitely help it, but it looks 10 times cooler than what it sounds. Certainly what I've heard from other videos online. So that would be the first thing. Two things: change the foot pegs and somehow get the exhaust so it sounds as cool as what the bike looks.
And that's even with these handlebars being so swept back, you're full kind of tackled.
my spine will.
Then additionally, after that kind of cool cruiser type bike, all the sports bikes from Kawasaki all look exactly the same, which I think is great, because you can get the 400cc motorbike and it looks exactly the same as the 650, as the 1000, and all that kind of stuff. So the XR 400 RR, the XR 650, the XR 1000, you have to be an absolute motorbike nerd to really tell the difference between one and another when they're whizzing past you. I'd love to hear the sound of this this 400cc revving up, because I think that would be the fun part of it. This one I was surprised how comfortable it was to actually sit on, and later on in the day I go and look at the Yamaha stand and look at that Yamaha R1, R7 and R3, and they were just impossible for even me to sit on. So the comfort of this bike I was actually quite surprised about in comparison to other bikes there. So yeah, Kawasaki, their design kind of cohesion that they've got, I think is really good. It means all of them look pretty good, and the comfort of this what should be a tiny little bike was actually pretty impressive. I quite liked it, and they all look fast as anything, even sitting still. So definitely one in the garage you would be impressed with just looking at it in the garage. The Harley Davidson stand, you'll hear in the background there's the sound of an engine. And they had one of their Harleys on a kind of a rolling road for people to turn on and ride the Harley. And they had the Harley, I think it was a Fat Bob, so the one which I look at later on. The slight problem that they had here was that, or the kind of marketing fail here, they had it with the cut the stock exhaust on. So there's very little sound. It's just the sound of an engine going round. It's not the great Harley sound that you're hearing in the background. Personally, if I was doing that stand, I would definitely have put some aftermarket exhaust on that bike that was in the background, so people could hear it everywhere. So as soon as it turns on, everybody's attention is taken over to the Harley stand. And then you've also got the sales markup of going, hey, this is what the bike can sound like if you buy these extra cans. When I sat on the Fat Bob, my impression of it was it was bigger whenever I rode it last year. Maybe that was my first year kind of impressions of it, or maybe it's once it starts moving and the volume of the engine is so big that when it rumbles between your legs, it gives a greater impression of size or something like that. But sitting on it inside the stand here wasn't as impressive as when you sit on it and turn it on. It's all about the engine, these bikes. Absolutely brilliant. Can't wait to give this another test ride this riding year 2024. Comfort and everything. I just think it's a great bike. But yeah, and its chunkiness, everything. For me, it was really a case of the Fat Bob versus the Triumph bobber, which I've got, or the Indian Scout bobber. I thought were all the kind of same kind of coolness, and the power and everything from it is really cool. So yeah, that was my thoughts of the Kawasaki and the Harley Davidson stands, and then afterwards in my next video we'll be talking about what we saw over at Yamaha.
I don't know. There's certainly some appeal to Harley.
So, I'm very tempted on whenever this becomes the R9, comes out.